The Reggae Boys are set to face Curacao later today at 6 p.m. Jamaica time, and here are 5 things to know ahead of the game.
Jamaica have a lifeline! How about this?
Big up Gunnaz, I hear that. Don't know some of the Gunnaz myself, but big up Gunnaz.
If you're new here, welcome to the Gunnaz podcast. I'm your host, Dicanio, an Arsenal fan who covers everything Reggae Boys and local football. If you enjoy the content that I do on this channel, remember, hit that subscribe button. It is a very free way of supporting the channel. Also, remember to smash that like button. Every single video I do on this channel must get to 200 likes. So just go ahead and smash that like button. Now, before I head into the 5 things that you need to know ahead of the game, it came to my attention that a few persons have misunderstood a few points I made in my last video, and I'd like to clarify them. Many persons, after watching the video yesterday, have concluded that I do not want Whisper in the national team, and that is not the truth. In fact, I've said many times in that same video that I want him in the team because of his talent, and I know how dangerous he is once he's fit. Now, where the confusion is coming from is a specific comment where I said he may not objectively deserve the call-up. And rightfully so, a viewer confronted me saying that I was a bit contradicting, because in the video, I said that I wanted him, but in the comment section, I'm saying that he may not objectively deserve the call-up. So people, I need you to understand that the two things can be true. As a Reggae Boys fan, and you guys are all Reggae Boys fans, we all have preferences and players that we want to see in the national team no matter what. For me, Whisper is one of those players that I want to see in the national team no matter what. That is my biased opinion as a Reggae Boys fan. However, that does not mean that he might not always deserve a call-up. And as a person that is expected to give unbiased takes and be objective on a platform like this, if someone makes a statement in my comment section saying that he does not deserve a call-up, especially over a player like Norman Campbell, who is in form, playing first-team football, scoring goals and assisting goals in Europe, I can be objectively honest and say that, yes, maybe he does not deserve a call-up. However, that does not mean that as a fan and a biased football fan, I want Whisper, or I don't want Whisper in the national team. Again, people, I'm just a regular fan like all of you. I rate Whisper over Norman Campbell, and if I had the choice to pick one, I'll always pick Whisper. That does not mean that I can't objectively agree with someone if they think he did not deserve a call. That is the reason why there's a saying that goes, we can all agree to disagree. Now, moving forward, I would love if as viewers you pay keen attention to the views I hold out of pure bias and the views that I have to show based on just objective facts. It's a fact that Norman Campbell, ever since he started the season, has been scoring goals, assisting goals, and has been the go-to talisman for-handers in a respectable league playing first-team football. And it's also a fact that Whisper played his first 90 minutes after almost a full year just Sunday, right? It's also another fact that Norman Campbell has already been selected by Steve McClaren. Steve McClaren knows him, Steve McClaren trusts him, and Steve McClaren has always talked highly of him as well. So if we're objectively looking at it, if Demarai Gray is out, a logical replacement would have been Norman Campbell based on his performances this season. However, Steve McClaren said that he wants to see Whisper. And I'm pretty sure the rest of Jamaica wants to see Whisper. I want to see Whisper. So it's not a specific call that I'm going to rave about and say he doesn't deserve it, because we all want to see Whisper in the national team. However, if a fan has a different opinion to me, and that opinion could be objectively true, I'm not going to cuss that fan or tell that fan that he's wrong, because I can agree to disagree. Now let's head into 5 things to know before Jamaica versus Curacao. Now, the first thing to know is that we're seeing a whole lot of new faces in camp. Now, we're seeing Ian Frey, someone that I have hyped up in the past. Earlier this year, before he played against Cavalier for Inter Miami in the Concacaf Champions Cup, right? He's a wonderful player. He's versatile, which Steve McClaren knows and mentioned in his latest interview. The fact that he can play right back, center back, and defensive midfield. he will be a valuable addition to the team. One key thing to know about Ian Frey, though, is that despite his tender and young age, he's already gone through 3 ACL injuries, 2 on one knee and 1 on the other. And he has had an injury-riddled career so far. So hopefully he can make his international debut this window and he can escape this window injury-free, because he's definitely one that we want to have continuity in his football, because he is a quality player and we need him fit and firing. Another new face is Seymour Reed, the 17-year-old who has recently joined New York City's first team and also recently scored his first senior men's goal. I think it's a deserved call-up, especially if they're looking for a young upcoming striker, which we already have in Bailey Catamarchi, we already have in Ramon Burrell, but you can never, none of those spots are cemented. So the fact that we can have him in the national team, someone who's playing football instead of a wasted spot, which I believe a Mikel Antonio type of pick would have done, I have no issues with that selection. Other faces as well that are not so new but are returning after not being in the squad for a while is Joel Latibadir, Ethan Pinnock, and also Bobby Reed, which I think is going to be starting that game. And I'll give you guys my starting lineup or predicted 11 for the game after we've gone through these 5 things. Now, the second thing is that we can qualify for the World Cup in this October round if other results go our way. Now, there are a few things that have to happen if that is going to be the case. Firstly, Jamaica need to win both of their games. We need to beat Curacao and we need to beat Bermuda. Also, if Curacao fail to beat Trinidad and the Trinidad do not win either of their games in this window versus Bermuda or Curacao, that would seal our World Cup 2026 spot. So again, we need to beat both Bermuda and Curacao. Curacao has to fail to beat Trinidad, and Trinidad should not win either of their games against Bermuda and Curacao. Now, I think all of those things can happen except Trinidad not beating Bermuda. I think that is going to be the deciding factor as to whether we qualify for the World Cup in this window. I think Curacao and Trinidad can draw their game, or more than likely will draw their game. But I'm not seeing where Bermuda is going to take points from Trinidad at all. But if Bermuda can take points from Trinidad and Jamaica can beat both Curacao and Bermuda, we will qualify in this window with 2 games to go. The third thing that you need to know is that the team is in a good position and has positive vibes. Now, people, for far too long, we've seen negative vibes around the Reggae Boyz camp and just around the Reggae Boyz generally. But this time around, we're seeing a whole lot of sponsors on board. We're seeing a whole lot of fan interaction. We're seeing a whole lot of positivity after 2 wins in 2 games. And this is something that I really want us to continue as fans, to push this positive agenda so that we can get the team over the line. The fourth thing that you need to know, and which most of you guys would already know, is that Whisper is in and Demarai Gray is out. No, this is a very sad case for Demarai Gray because he has found a new team in Birmingham where he's found this place. He's wearing the number 10 and he's really having a good season so far. And to see that he got selected, was back into the national team, I believe was set to start in an attacking midfield role. And he picked up an injury in training, which is a groin injury, and he was sent back to Birmingham, and Whisper was called in to replace him. Now, it's a bittersweet moment because obviously it's very sad news that Demarai Gray is out, but it also means that we get the chance to see 4-4 Whisper 9 binds in a national team setup. So, as I said, people, it's a bittersweet moment, but let's get on with it and make sure that we support the team and support Whisper. And finally, the 5th thing that you need to know is that Steve McClaren finally selected an unbiased team given the circumstances. Well, 95% unbiased, all right? I'm glad that he did not select a player like Mikel Antonio, a player that is not playing, a player that I see more on my TV than on a football pitch. He's a pundit now. He doesn't have a football team, and continuously selecting him over players that are playing and deserve a call up and deserve a chance would have been unfair. So I think he got that sort of balance wrong in the September window, but I'm glad that he's picking the team now of merit and obviously giving young players a chance. But for the majority, everyone in this national team is playing football and they're doing well. So kudos to Steve McClaren for really learning from his mistakes in the past and really taking this qualification serious. Now, I'm going to give you guys my predicted 11 for this game. Share your thoughts below in the comment section and give me your predicted 11 as well. In goal, obviously, our captain, Andre Blake. Now, the midfield and the defense, it's kind of going to be a tricky one because if Damara Gray was here, I would have expected him to start in the attacking midfield role alongside a defensive midfielder and John Russell. However, he's not there. Isaac Hayden is suspended on yellow cards, and Casey Palmer is also suspended on yellow cards, which leaves us pretty short in midfield. It's good that we have Bobby Reid back, though, who would like for life replace Casey Palmer. So, in the back line, I'm going to go left back because it's the easiest option. Amari Bell. The defensive pairing, I think Steve McClaren is going to go with experience. I think he'll play Ethan Pinnock on the left and Damian Lowe on the right center back. Does Richard King deserve to be booted out of the team? I don't think so. But again, knowing Steve McClaren, he is going to go for experience now that Ethan Pinnock is back in the team. And I think he's just going to boot King to the bench. So Damian Lowe, Ethan Pinnock, Dexter Lembikisa at right back, and Amari Bell at left back. It's going to be interesting as to whether Joel Latibadier starts in the defensive midfield role or if he starts at right back. We know that Ian Frey can play right back, center back, and defensive midfield. And also, Latibadier plays center back, right back, and defensive midfield. In this team, both of the defensive midfield position and right back position is up for grabs. And it's very hard to really see or think what Steve McClaren is going to do. If he'll play Ian Frey at central defensive midfield, does he think he's ready for that? Will he play Joel Latibadier at central defensive midfield? One of those two players will start in the central defensive midfield role, or Joel Latibadier might start at right back. I'm not sure. This predicted 11, it's really hurting my brain. I think it's going to be based off how the players are performing in training, what level they're coming into the camp at. I'm not sure about that. I'm not seeing the team, but whichever one he selects, I don't think I'm going to be shocked with the selection, and I think I'll be happy with it. The rest of the team, I think, is pretty straightforward. So Bobby Reid in the attacking midfield role, John Russell in the 8-side role, the box-to-box role, my bad. We'll see Cephas on the left wing. We'll see Bailey Catamarturi up top. He might give Shamar Nicholson a nod, but I think Bailey Catamarturi keeps his place. And finally, I think we'll see Tyrese Campbell on the right-hand side. I'm not sure Whisper will start. I still think Tyrese Campbell has a whole lot of senior men's minutes in his legs this season. So I think Tyrese Campbell will get the nod over Whisper unless Whisper just impresses in training and he has no other option to start Whisper. But otherwise, I think Tyrese Campbell will start on the right. Let me know your thoughts below in the comment section, people. Who do you think will be in that starting 11? It's very tricky in the right back and central defensive midfield position. Who will start there? So yeah, share your thoughts below in the comment section. Who do you think should start at right back? Who do you think should start at central defensive midfield, since we do not have Isaac Hayden here as he's out with a yellow card suspension? That is it for this video, folks. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for continuing to support the channel. Remember to hit the like button and share this video so others can see it as well. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Jamaica have a lifeline. How about this?
Big up Gunnaz, I hear that. Don't know some of the Gunnaz myself, but big up Gunnaz.